Warning, this podcast contains 2 berries.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Flash ASOTV podcast. I can't speak because I'm so excited to talk about this fucking episode. The ASOTV podcast for the Flash, Season 2, Episode 13. Welcome to Earth-2. I am your host, Clio, and with me I have Dom.
How's it going?
Nikki. Holy shit.
You are very excited.
Wow. Very excited. I missed the entire intro. I don't care. Can we... I have to skip some stuff. I have to go straight to talking about the fact that Cisco has a vest that has Twizzlers in it. It's a vest, and in it there are Twizzlers. Did he think he was going to get hungry on the trip to Earth-2?
I think he was thinking that there weren't... I think you thought that Twizzlers did not exist in Earth-2, and he had to prepare himself.
Would have been right. He needed Twizzlers that bad.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's his comfort food and he was really nervous.
It could be.
Because I just made a trip today by myself, and I understand. I had pepperoni in my purse to make me feel better.
Pepperoni is interesting. They're not Twizzlers.
No. A safety blanket of deli meats.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Twizzlers should be deli meat.
What? That's just a Slim Jim.
No, Twizzlers. Like, you should be able to go order like a half pound of Stop and Shop Twizzler breast lunch meat.
So, okay, it's not meat in the shape of a Twizzler. It is a Twizzler that is alive that you...
Yes.
That gets sliced and put
okay,
on a
sandwich. I don't know what just happened. We're gonna rein this back in. So, Wells, Barry, and Cisco cross the breach, the last breach. You know, Barry goes around and closes all the other breaches before they go through the last breach into Earth-2. And Jay refers to it as the looking glass. You know, don't get distracted by what you see. I love how, like, just genuinely terrified Cisco gets before they finally go. But they go through and they see a bunch of things, similar to when Barry was time traveling.
Mm-hmm.
He saw a bunch of things. Very similar. So let's talk about what...
Similar but different.
Different. Let's talk about what we saw. Okay. So the first thing was Green Arrow.
Yes.
A Green Arrow. Some form of Green Arrow. Some person may or may not be Green Arrow.
Did not look like Oliver.
Did not look like Oliver.
No.
But we can't rule out that it might have been Oliver.
Correct. But based on some of the other stuff that we saw, like the second thing that we saw, which was Barry's dad as the Flash.
We saw the 90s version of the Flash.
Right, because Barry's dad played...
Yes.
Barry Allen.
Plays Barry's dad.
Yeah.
We can maybe say that is an alternate universe where Barry's dad is the Flash.
Named Barry Allen.
Yes, but that might not be the case. It might just be another Flash.
Maybe?
Something weird about that Flash. I would never have noticed it, but my dad pointed it out. His lightning bolt is backwards.
That could have just been they mirrored it forward.
Yeah, no, I thought that too. But I think it's worth mentioning.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Lightning bolt is backwards.
So, with the knowledge that exists, and then the third one that you see immediately is Kara from Supergirl.
Yeah, our from the Supergirl from the TV show specifically.
Yeah, so the current Supergirl TV series. Yes. And the big thing going around now on that is that Supergirl actually takes place on an alternate Earth. So a different dimension. That was the rumor that's been flying around, and this episode here of The Flash basically confirmed it for us.
Yeah.
Because why else would you see her when Barry's traveling between worlds in a dimensional time rip? You know, like...
I think, though, because that doesn't necessarily mean that she's that's a different Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Because we see Gorilla Grodd, like, after her.
Right, but Grodd went from Earth-1 to Earth-2.
Yes.
Grodd is now living on Earth-2.
Yes. Yes, that's true. But we also see a man named Jonah Hex.
Right, that's the oddball one.
Yeah, that's the oddball one because he's going to be in DC's Legends of Tomorrow, which we know they're time traveling, not dimension hopping.
Right.
Unless something drastically changes in that show for them to go to another dimension.
One of their energy converters gets, messed up and they skip dimensions instead of jumping through time.
Or something that they altered in the timeline makes Jonah Hex be the same kind of guy he was in the other timeline. There's ways they could get around that, and just because the timeline exists and there's different people doesn't mean people can't be the same on the other side either. It's just improbably going to be happening. So based on all that, and there was one more that we'll get to in a minute. We'll get that in a minute. But based on all of those, we could assume that that's not Barry. I mean, not Oliver Queen as the Green Arrow. And if you remember, there was a news report in the episode where it focused on Wells on Earth-2.
Yes.
There was a news report that Oliver Queen was the one that died at sea, and his father was the one that turned out to be the Green Arrow.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's a chance that it could be his dad, but
Barry's
it doesn't really look like him either.
It could. You're right. It doesn't look like him either. It could be Barry's father. It could be future Oliver, where he obviously would not look same as he does now. Or it could be, people think it could be Connor Hawke, which is Oliver's son.
Ooh, yeah. That would be interesting.
But I actually, after looking at the face, I'm not sure it's any of those. I think whoever is that Green Arrow is the man we see at the end with the mask in Zoom's cage. Because all we saw of that man was his hands. But it looked like his hands were a little dark, like the skin was a little darker.
Right.
And so did that Green Arrow, because we paused it before we started talking and before we started the podcast.
Right.
Really look at it, and he did look like, whoever that Green Arrow was, looked like he had a slightly darker skin. So I think whoever that Green Arrow is the man. I was calling him the man in the iron mask because he just had this.
Okay, so it's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah,
he's gonna get an Oscar for this for sure.
He's nominated for everything.
I mean, yeah.
Lee Silver is saying that is Connor Hawke.
That is Connor Hawke. So maybe Connor Hawke is the one in
the cell. Yeah,
in the Iron Mask.
Could be.
I don't know. I was when we had paused the video, I was just looking and I had that epiphany and I was like, but we'll talk more about the man in the cell later when we get to that. But I was gonna say one more thing.
The final one.
The last thing before I get to the last thing that we see. There's a lot to talk about in like this 30 seconds of video.
Yeah.
But Jonah Hex, the Jonah Hex we see in that little flash, his face is unmarred. The Jonah Hex in the comics and the cartoons, his face is disfigured.
Right.
And that's what makes him recognizable as Jonah Hex. So that's why me and my dad watched it and he was like, I think it's Jonah Hex, but he doesn't have any scars. I'm like, it could still be him. Which everyone seems to think that it is him, considering he's coming on DC's Legends of Tomorrow. So I think when we see him, he is going to be pre-scarred.
Interesting. So yeah, well, especially from Legends.
Story from Jonah Hex. Yeah. He's always fascinating to me. So that's going to be fun. And the last thing we see is the Legion of Superheroes flight ring. And the Legion of Superheroes is a group of superheroes similar to the Justice League, but in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They are a future, like hundreds of years in the future. No, 1,000 years in the future. What am I saying? See, I'm so excited I can't speak. 1,000 years in the future, the Legion of Superheroes is a thing. So that's what that ring is. The gold ring with the L and the little star.
Okay.
Now, that's not the same thing that was in the police office, right?
No, the police office says the mural is different than the one in Earth-1. It says a free and just society, which is a reference to the Justice Society.
Okay.
Which is the old school, like, pre-Justice League thing.
Gotcha.
So, Justice Society is in the past. In this, it's a different dimension, but Justice Society is in the past, Legion of Superheroes is in the future, Justice League is usually in the present, when these stories are told. So.
Right. The other thing that I wanted to point out was based on all of that stuff, with the exception of the Justice League and all that. So we have all these ones that seem like they're from the alternate universe. The reason why Kara, there was speculation for Supergirl being in an alternate dimension even before this aired, was the name of the crossover episode for Supergirl that Barry is coming over onto Supergirl is called World's Finest. And the reason is the apostrophe in worlds, there's no apostrophe.
Yeah.
So it's not belonging to one world. Yeah. It's
Instead
as
of
in a plural worlds as opposed to a
clever.
possessive worlds, you know. So that is why they're, and that right there will alleviate all of Cleo's concerns about why there's aliens running around and people aren't accepting of metas. It's because it's a whole nother fucking universe, and that really does put things into perspective. And our Earth-1, Barry, I'm saying ours like Barry's living on our Earth, but
Yes.
Yeah, no, I mean...
in Earth-1 from the show that
we are connected to Earth-1 because that's where we started. Barry's our
Right.
anchor.
So
And for all intents and purposes, Earth-1 is our Earth.
right, so there's not anything to say that Superman and Kal-El and Kara and all them don't exist in our world. They may have not just got here yet. You know,
That's
so.
interesting. Yeah. Which would make me happy, because the thing I've been worried about is that when they get introduced, it's going to be like, oh yeah, by the way, aliens have been here for like a while and we just haven't mentioned it.
And it seems like that's not going to be the case anymore at all. And see, I wasn't ever really worried because DC TV has been so goddamn good. And this one show here, if it wasn't for The Flash, like the entire movie, cinematic, televised DC universe, I don't think would have ever been connected. But this one show right here just basically told you that everything could all be connected. Like we could technically have an episode where Barry Allen, you know, Grant Gustin as the Flash meets whoever's playing the Flash in the DC movie. You know, like they could cross those two over and just be like, oh, that's Earth 5. You know, like it. We don't know, but they could just connect everything. Yeah. So like this show has got me way too excited for DC. Way too excited.
Well, we also we have to pass the hurdle that is Batman v Superman. So once we're past that, I think we're in the clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to shit on something I haven't seen yet, but
really quick. We have Kevin Lang in chat says, I think Zoom only traps speedsters, and they already said that Robert Queen became the Hood. So, the only thing that I have to say about that is I don't believe that Wells' daughter is a speedster, and he clearly has her. So I don't know if it's true that he only captures speedsters. It's a good theory, though.
He wants speedsters because he wants to increase his powers, but he's going to capture whoever the hell he wants to get what he wants.
Yeah, so clearly the motivation behind capturing Wells' daughter is to motivate Wells to do something, which is probably going to lead to capturing a speedster. Mm-hmm. So it may all be related, but that doesn't necessarily mean that everybody in there is a speedster.
Yeah, but I don't know who the man in the iron mask is yet. I obviously have a theory. I have a couple theories because
It's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Huh?
It's Leonardo DiCaprio. Have you not seen that movie yet?
I fucking love that movie, dude. Don't even test me. Jeremy Irons and
Be
John
prepared.
Malkovich,
Be prepared.
No, I think it might also be another version of Wall-E.
Could be.
A Wall-E that might already be a version of the Flash.
Kevin says Jesse Quick is a speedster, which may be true.
Right, I forgot.
Yeah, which may be true, but I don't believe she has powers yet.
Yeah, this Jessie is not
a
speedster yet.
Right.
If she becomes one. I forgot. I know we mentioned that when she was first introduced to the show, but I forgot. Like, I've just been seeing her as Wells' daughter, especially since she doesn't get that much screen time.
Yeah, that's true.
I forget. And since we're on this scene already, I just want to mention that when we were seeing the man in the iron mask pounding on the bars or whatever he was doing, it was such a weird motion that he was making.
Yeah.
There was another cell behind him with some sort of like hair figure just like standing there like this. I like got a Winter Soldier feeling from it. I'm like, who the fuck is that? I can't see.
Yeah, it's Bucky.
It's Bucky. Oh, don't. I'm already like crying over Cisco. Don't throw Bucky in the mix. I'll be the like fangirl mess.
Reverb.
Reverb.
I like that better than Vibe, just saying.
I like Vibe. I like Vibe, but I liked Reburn. You have to slow down.
Reburn.
I keep wanting to talk at like Flash speed, but I need to calm down.
Like indigestion reburn.
Yeah, it's from all that pepperoni you ate.
I liked Reverb, and I was just like,
And the honey baked
we've
Twizzlers.
got like evil Cisco to give me more feels, and then he dies, and I'm like, oh, come on, man. Couldn't give me like five minutes.
But I love the little previews. Like, Cisco's like, I could do that?
Yeah, holy shit.
That was crazy.
Yeah, I'm like super excited for Cisco. I feel like, and he mentioned, it's very funny, because when he was talking to Reverb, he was making Star Wars references. It's like, are you Cloud City Darth Vadering me right now? But like, I felt like in the future, him exploring his powers might be like a light versus dark side Jedi Force thing.
Yeah, and see,
Where,
this
like,
stuff always bothers me because it's like, this is another Earth. Do they have Star Wars? Is it the same thing? Like, it can't be the same actors playing. Like, there's no way. Like, they're making Star Wars references, but Mark Hamill, we know, is the trickster, so he can't possibly be Luke Skywalker. So it's just like, what? My head is gonna explode.
Yeah, I don't know. They didn't. Because Reverb sort of just smiled at it.
And
like,
didn't Wells make like a Jaws reference at the beginning? Like
Yes.
Cisco said something about he can't even, he has no spit or something, and Wells is like, oh, Jaws, you know, and it's just like, is he referencing
he's
that
like,
because
no,
he
I
watched?
actually don't have any saliva in my mouth.
Right. I'm like, is he saying that because he's watched Jaws on Earth-1, or is it because he knows of Jaws on Earth-2? And it's the same thing, and like that just makes my head hurt.
Yeah,
Just
I have.
assume that everything is different in its own little way, even if it seems super similar.
Except for coffee. That is the one constant across the multiverse.
I guess so.
I mean, obviously, it's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
And alcohol. I mean, coffee and alcohol. You can go through 1,000 worlds, and those will be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they get to Earth-2. They're taking selfies. And then they run into what's his name? Who worked at Mercury Labs, and they're like,
Harris?
No,
What's his name?
I forget
Harris?
his name. I
might
forgot
have
his
been.
name the time that we did the podcast where he was actually in an episode. But he was one of the candidates to be the new Firestorm for Dr. Stein.
Yeah. And he went all like...
Their reaction was great, though. They're just...
And Cisco's face was just like...
Was he holding onto Barry's arm, too?
Yeah, they were like holding each other. And Wells is just like... Be cool, guys. Be cool.
What's wrong with your friends? Oh, they're just a little excitable.
I like that worked. But then it's like, it looks like it's all, you know, they're gonna start doing their plan and stuff, and then Barry does a bunch of really dumb shit.
Like, gets Barry. Barry gets Barry, which...
Barry gets Barry and knocks out Barry and takes Barry's place without knowing a goddamn thing about him.
But can I just say how adorable it was to see Barry in, like, the classic comic book bow tie?
Yes! Oh my god, that was great. The glasses. Oh, it's perfect.
Because that's, like, I remember... Because I knew nothing about The Flash coming into the show. When I first started it, I knew nothing. And I still really don't know much about The Flash. I know what we've seen on the show, and that's it. I'm not very well versed in the comic book canon. But I'm getting there. Along the way. And I just remember reading when the stuff was coming out about The Flash, as everybody was complaining that he wasn't wearing his bow tie. And I was like, they're modernizing it. Like, he's not going to wear the bow tie. And then they found a way to throw it back in, and I love it.
Yeah. He just, and just how this Barry acted was like, oh god, get your shit together, dude.
Bow ties are cool.
Does this debunk our theory at all?
Yes, I think it does. I 100% think it does. Because the reason why I think it debunks our theory that Barry Allen Earth-2 is Zoom is because Iris is like, my app is going off and saying you're a metahuman. Like, that's odd. You know, oh, it must be malfunctioning. So I think that eliminates Barry as our number one suspect, which would have been great. But that doesn't rule out the theory. So... In chat here, we have, what was it? Kevin Lang says, I think Zoom is Eddie's body, but he's not human, obviously. So it's kind of like a Eobard Thawne thing again, but using Eddie's body from Earth-2. I think that's what Kevin's getting at. I'm still thinking that it's very possible that Barry's dad is Zoom in this universe, because
Barry's dad.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Barry's father is Zoom. Because if you look in when Barry gets to his house with Iris, and he goes to use the phone that's got the speed dial buttons on it.
Yeah.
There's a couple Easter eggs on the thing. Eddie is one of them.
Eddie is one of them.
Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne is one.
It just says Bruce, so you can't really necessarily say Bruce Wayne.
Come on, though.
But because
it's
of the
definitely Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, because of the newspaper we saw in the future, and we're pretty sure it's Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne.
And
there are two more. Did you know the last two?
I did not. No.
The last two?
What are those?
Hal Jordan.
Okay.
And Diana Price, who is Wonder Woman.
Gotcha. Yeah. So there was those two, but there was the one that said mom and dad, and the mom answered the phone. Dad wasn't around. Why was dad not around? Because he's zooming around the city. That's my theory.
Maybe.
Could be. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm not 100% giving up on it being Barry.
Lee wants to know why there was no Clark or Arthur on the speed dial.
Well, okay, so that's a question. It is. My question is, if this Barry is not a superhero, why does he have so many of them on his speed dial?
Because I don't think any of these people are superheroes in this universe.
Good fucking point.
I don't think Bruce Wayne is Batman. He may not even be a millionaire or a billionaire or whatever Bruce Wayne is. Like,
Yeah.
all these people, because, like, Oliver's dead. You know, it's like all these people that are supposed to be heroes are not heroes. Barry, who's supposed to be, you know, the Flash, the speedster, is crime. You know, he's still doing the CSI, but...
Yeah, and as far as we know, the only two heroes are Jay Garrick as the Flash and Aquaman. But we don't even know if Aquaman's an active superhero or not.
Right. We just know Jay's best friend comes from Atlantis. That doesn't even necessarily mean it's Aquaman.
Yeah.
It's implied, but that doesn't mean it is. Yeah.
Yes, no, that's true. So yeah, that was those Easter eggs. I don't know, man. I don't want to give up on Barry being Zoom.
This episode kind of sealed it for me. Like, I was 100% on board. You weren't going to convince me otherwise, like, any way, shape, or form up until this episode.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Eddie would be kind of cool, though.
It would be nice to see him again.
It would.
And I mean, we talked about in the beginning of the season how Eddie's actor was there in episode 1, and we thought that was strange.
Mm-hmm.
If he was never coming back to the show since he was, you know, dead or whatever.
Right.
So that would make sense if it was Eddie, why the actor was in that first episode.
Don't we have to go through with watching Eddie die all over again?
I mean, I had to watch Cisco die again. Same way.
Can you really consider that Cisco, though?
I do. It's like an evil Cisco. I liked him.
with the samurai thing going on the top of his head?
Yeah, with the samurai. I actually liked his hair. His hair looked good half up.
I did. I liked it.
But, yeah. Prince. I'm sorry, I said Price for Wonder Woman's last name. It was... Oopsies! Whatever. I always just call her Wonder Woman. Or Diana. I didn't even know that was her last name. I had to look at the friggin' wiki. I
don't know, it's like the way the mouth is on Zoom and the way, like, it's like, it reminds me a lot of Venom.
Yeah.
It's
like the suit's alive.
Yeah. So, you know, and Kevin Lang in chat keeps saying, you know, I'm sure it's Eddie's body, but Zoom's, the force behind it powering him is not human. And it reminds me of a lot of Venom. It's just like, you know, like
the embodiment of the Speed Force,
like
just
Eddie Brock.
Puppet.
You know, Eddie Brock in Spider-Man, who gets the symbiote, the suit, you know, like it's the same thing. So if it turns out to be Eddie, it's just like it literally Venom all over again.
Literally?
Literally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we got, speaking of, you know, Doppels, we got to see Killer Frost finally.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I think the hype was...
That's kind of a bit of a controversial topic in terms of, like, the Vision quest that they saw when we saw... So, like, everybody's like, oh, in the time travel thing, we saw a preview of Killer Frost at the end of, what was it, the finale for Season 1? We saw Killer Frost there. And now she's showing up in an alternate universe. It's like, why did she show up in the time travel? No, I know, right? So that was my point, is this is showing, and it's said in the thing that it was what Barry's going to see in his past, present, future kind of stuff. And if the timeline knew Barry was going into another dimension, these are all characters that are showing up in his future. So it still makes sense for that. So
yes, this is true.
Don't think that still means that our Caitlyn is going to become Killer Frost and turn evil, because that's not what that means. It's possible,
it might
but
happen, it might not happen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's future
Yeah.
stuff. But I think if our Caitlyn was strong enough to survive losing Ronnie twice, I don't think she's turning evil.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
She's one tough cookie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just... I liked seeing her. Her Killer Frost vibe was very much like Poison Ivy
It was, yeah.
to me, how she acted, which was pretty cool. But I think after like all this time, we're like, Killer Frost is coming, Killer Frost is coming. Like it was a little bit, there was too much hype, I think, for me.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
because
just disappointed in her at all. That's not the case.
the Facebook and the Twitter and the Instagrams and all that were throwing out pictures of Killer Frost is coming, and it's, you know, and then the preview, and, you know, we've been looking for it since season 1's finale, and it's just like so much hype, and I feel like it's not done, clearly, because she's the only one alive at the end, you know, out of the villain trio. So,
Yes.
who knows?
I'm mad. I want to see more reverb. And they killed Deathstorm. We finally got a power villain couple, you know, the villain power couple, and they killed one of them. It's like, oh, come on. Can't have this one thing. Can't have any nice things.
The villains never come out on top,
That's true.
unless you're Leonard Snart, who may or may not be the mayor of Earth-2.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I thought I heard Stark.
Nope.
No, it was Snart.
It was Mayor Snart.
Snart.
But that does not... We don't know if it's him, his sister, or his
Yeah.
father.
It could be any of them.
You know,
Yeah.
but...
Oh my god, I didn't even mention Deadshot!
Yeah,
Can't
that's
shoot a
hilarious.
goddamn thing. Oh my god.
I hate that
He
nickname.
was being like this bumbling idiot. I'm just like, oh, you precious thing, it's okay.
It reminded me of like the way he was fumbling around and how clumsy he was. It reminded me of Enigma from Gotham.
Mm.
Not like as in like bumbling his words or anything, but just stumbling around.
Right.
Yeah.
See, in my headcanon, Gotham takes place before the Flash, and then whoever, if it's the same kid, it turns out to be Batman, Bruce Wayne. Like, if they don't replace him with an older actor at some point, which I hope they don't. But if that's the case, then we'll never see Bruce Wayne cross over into Flash, and that makes me sad. So, but could just be another universe.
Could just be. It makes me miss Deadshot in Arrow though.
Mm-hmm.
I got really sad. I was just like, oh, could you please come back to Arrow?
I thought he died.
My theory is he's not dead.
No?
Because in versions of Suicide Squad's past, the way they evade the bomb in their head is by faking their deaths.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I thought that Deadshot did.
It's possible. Yeah.
So.
And then in Earth-5, like, Will Smith is Deadshot, right?
Yes.
So.
That's exactly it.
I'm okay with that.
See, in Earth-1, Will Smith is the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but in Earth-5, he's Deadshot. That's just like a big gap. Like, what the hell happened?
Perfect. My gosh.
Cleo, you might be able to, or even chat. Chat's really active tonight. One of you guys could probably help me out.
Yeah.
Are there only 52 universes, or are there infinite universes?
It depends on where you're at, what comic you're reading.
Okay.
So currently I believe there is 52 in the comics right now.
Mm-hmm.
But there have been infinite at a time. Then there was a reset and there was just one, but then there ended up being a whole lot more again, and then now there's the most recent reset of 52. So it's a loaded question.
Okay. I figured as much.
Yeah, because Crisis on Infinite Earths, it was infinite, and they just kept going. Like, there were just more being found
Yeah.
constantly, so.
Well, the Suicide Squad I've dubbed as Earth-5, and that's forever canon in my head.
Okay.
I can deal with that.
Okay.
I like it. She's like, I don't even know what else to say about this episode. Oh, we didn't even talk about Jay yet.
Yeah.
Jay, in their quest to try to fix the portal because it destabilizes, actually has to face a meta because the Geomancer.
Yeah.
Where was Cisco when we were naming that guy?
He was on Earth-2. Guy named himself because he's that egotistical. Okay, what actor was that? Because he looked really familiar, and I wanted to punch him in the teeth because I just don't like him.
That escalated quickly.
Oh,
Yeah.
who did I think he was? Because he never took his goggles off, so I couldn't even tell. But I thought he looked familiar. Oh god, who? Well, I can look it up. Who am I? Here we go. The actor is Adam. Oh wait, hold on. What? Adam Stafford.
We're on a quest to find this out.
Mm-hmm.
Can't find a picture.
There he is. Adam Pell's Geomancer.
Yeah.
Where?
Adam Stafford.
Do you know who he is? Oh, where he is?
Where?
I need a bigger picture.
Adam Stafford.
Okay, no, he's not anybody I know.
No.
Because of the goggles, he looked really different, so.
Yeah, no, I don't know him either.
No.
Yeah, anyway. So we find out, like, a big thing about Jay that sort of gets... I feel like the impact was lost because it was just in a conversation between him and Caitlin, but he was like addicted to the speed drug, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he was addicted to it, but he used it to try to push himself to get faster, and it ended up eating away at him and taking his speed. So it wasn't Zoom that actually consumed his speed like we were thought to believe this whole time.
Well, I remember when we were talking about it, because the scene where it's supposed to show Zoom taking his powers, it looked weird. It didn't look like Zoom did anything.
Yeah, well, they were in the middle of the thing, and that's when the breach happened and sucked him in, and so, yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess Caitlin's trying to find a serum that's gonna
stabilize
him
and
instead of stabilize him instead of continuing to eat away at him.
Yeah, so she's up to velocity 7. She said something about maybe I'll get it right with 8.
Yeah.
So.
And I think no, it doesn't say it. Oh yeah, no, and next episode's gonna be velocity 9. So they're she's escalating quickly with this the serum stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, velocity 7 didn't work too well. No. He almost immediately face planted.
Now I'm curious if this can give us a non-speedster speed.
I feel like it might, but I think you would have to already have some sort of connection to the Speed Force, or it might kill you. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking in the future, like how Wally could get his, speed and...
Yeah. It could be an accident with a version of velocity.
Yeah.
But I don't think if you just inject it into someone who's not a speedster, it won't make them a speedster. I think it might actually kill them.
Yeah, probably. Because it had to burn a lot, and they said the only way it could burn fast enough was lightning, and yeah, I kind of remember that now, so...
Yeah. So, well, I don't know. We'll see how well the velocity 9, I guess, 10, 11.
Yeah.
See how far we get with that.
Well, she's very determined, so.
She is. And I think she's giving him hope, too. Because, like, before when he didn't want to talk about it, now he's sort of, like, being like, yeah, I was talking about my feelings and stuff.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. This episode, I just want to shake things.
I mean, in all the excitement, you forgot to even mention the jitterbug.
I did. Oh my god! And when I saw Joe
Joseph.
singing, I'm like, it's about fucking time, because that man was in a shit ton of musicals.
Rent is probably the most famous. Yeah.
That's what I know him from.
Right.
Is Rent. I've been waiting to hear him sing in this show, and I'm so happy. I've been waiting to hear Cisco sing. Like, they went to karaoke, but you didn't get to hear Cisco sing. Still waiting for that. He's a beautiful voice as well.
Does he?
Yeah. They, the actors who played Joe, Cisco, and Eddie sang the intro to Firefly on, like, a Vine or something.
Gotcha.
And it was beautiful.
Huh.
So, yeah. Been waiting for that. But I'm really excited to see Cisco try to do weird things with his powers.
Yeah.
Also, he wore a Mordor shirt. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, he did.
He wore a Mordor shirt. When I saw it, I lost my mind. I was like, oh my god, he's wearing a Mordor shirt.
He always wears some of the best shirts.
Well, because I think in that whole beginning of the episode, I lost my mind. Because not only was he wearing a Mordor shirt, but he had Twizzlers in his tactical vest. I can't handle it.
Like he reminds me a lot of like Sheldon Cooper with all the t-shirts and stuff, you know, from Big Bang Theory. With like,
except not a complete asshole.
Well, Sheldon's got, I don't want to say he's an asshole, but he's got like some mental thing. Like everybody, the theory's got like Asperger's or something, but like, what?
My boyfriend is a therapist, and someone can be mentally ill and an asshole simultaneously. We've had this discussion. Me and him have talked about.
Well, yes.
I'm like, can someone have mental problems and still be an asshole?
Yes,
like,
I agree, but
still allowed to call
like,
them an asshole.
It's
He's
like,
yeah.
It's like he's aloof. He doesn't realize he's being an asshole. So it's not like an asshole is being an asshole knowing he's being an asshole.
No, and you can be an asshole without knowing you're an asshole.
No,
that happens all the time, every day.
No, but my whole point was he wears the t-shirts like Sheldon. And I'm just waiting for Cisco to come out in like the Sheldon Cooper Flash t-shirt that Sheldon's known for. Yeah. And like that would totally be okay because of all of the Flash action figures and the Flash cappuccinos.
Totally. There's definitely there's Flash merchandise in Earth-1, so that's definitely a thing.
They could totally get away with just having Cisco wear a Flash t-shirt and it just being great.
I agree.
Yeah, and I liked there was mention of Stein inside Firestorm or Deathstorm.
Yes. Oh my god. He's like, I haven't let that guy out in years.
Yeah. So
damn.
You see what happens when Stein doesn't have the voice of reason.
Yeah.
You know, it turns into that.
Yeah. Or you mean when Ronnie doesn't have the voice of reason?
Hmm.
Because I guess, I don't know. Stein isn't always the voice of reason.
No, but not always. He seems to be the majority of the time. Yes.
He's definitely the more knowledgeable sometimes.
Yep.
But yeah, that Deathstorm was scary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's sort of like a glimpse into our Cisco's future too, because you could just see how scared Frost was of Reverb.
Yeah.
Like, that's how powerful he is.
And it's just crazy to see how a lot of people are still so connected even in the alternate universes. Like, you know, Barry and Iris are together.
They're married.
We know Barry and Iris get together supposedly in Earth-1's future, unless the timeline was altered to the point where that's not going to happen now.
But that's still...
Yeah, but it's still led to believe that that's going to be the case. Yeah. So, you know, you see that, and then, you know, Barry and Joe aren't really friends in this one, but they're still...
You could tell how heartbroken Barry was to find out. He's like, you don't like me? You mad at me?
Well, because in this version, his mom was never killed. His dad never went to jail. He never had to go live with Joe.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the touching phone call that Barry got, and it's just like Barry had all the feels this episode.
Yeah.
Too bad he was just making dumb decisions.
Yeah, but it's just crazy how everybody's still all connected, like Iris and Barry, but then you get Iris being like the police captain, chief, whatever, Joe's not involved. You see the police captain from Earth-1 is actually a criminal.
Yeah.
It's just like...
That was crazy.
Yeah. So it's just like everybody's still so connected. It's crazy.
Yeah, before I got ideas about the Man in the Iron Mask, I thought maybe he could have been Diggle or John Diggle or Andy Diggle. I no longer really think that, but I felt like I had to say it out loud just in case it's true.
Then you can be like, see, I called it the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. I said like 50 theories. One of them was right. I'm right.
53 theories.
52.
No, 53. One more than...
One for good luck.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know, man. You guys got anything else to say? I'm like all spent. Ready to go take a nap.
Huh.
No, I mean everything was covered from my point of view, anyways.
Yeah.
All right.
Just in closing, the parallel universes just has me way more excited than time travel does, and that's very rare for me because I love time travel. Like anything time travel. Like I just had Nikki watch Nikki and Mike just watched Project Almanac, which...
Oh my god, that was such a great movie.
It's like a found footage film about time travel, and it doesn't like raise the bar in terms of like time travel exploration or whatever, but it's just a really interesting, fun movie, and it's so good, and it's just there's so much stuff you could do with time travel that when the Flash started doing it, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. But now these alternate universes, and it's just like, okay, so this is how we're gonna put Supergirl in this, and then I'm just like, my headcanon, I'm like, well, Gotham that exists on Fox doesn't fit into all this, and it's just like, okay, that's just a different universe, and you just dismiss it, and it makes my headcanon, like, everything is fine now, like, it's all sorted. So the only headcanon I have to worry about is which one of these shows exists in the same universes.
Yeah.
So that's all my head has to do is like figure out which TV shows, which movies and stuff do it, and that leaves so much room for the movies and the TV shows to cross over in ways that Marvel can't even do right now. Because DC can get away with having 7 different Flashes, and then they can do an episode on the TV with this thing of the Flash and have all 7 of the Flashes in the same episode, and it would still make complete fucking sense.
Which sounds like it wouldn't make sense, but it does.
Yeah.
Suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
Kind of. But it's multiple universes, and it works because it's already established. And that's what's so great about it.
Next episode. Escape from Earth-2. It sounds like Escape from New York.
I was going to say, it sounds like, like an Indiana Jones title.
Kinda.
Indiana Jones and the Escape from Earth-2.
On Earth-2, the team races to find Zoom's lair and asks for help from the most unexpected source. I think it's Doppelberry.
Yeah?
Meanwhile, what?
What is Doppelberry going to do?
I don't know.
I think it's going to be Green Arrow.
I mean,
Well,
if you want to go super unexpected, maybe Grodd comes in with the freaking suit on, and he's just like, I know. That's completely unexpected.
No, Will Smith would be more unexpected.
Well, yes, but...
I saw the promo. It's Iris and Doppelberry.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Meanwhile, back on Earth-1, Caitlin rushes to perfect Velocity 9 so that Ray can stop the Geomancer.
Hmm.
Yup.
Okay.
So,
Ba-
Dom, where can people find you?
Basically just feels like a two-parter now. You can find me down below at Phenomedom, PHENOMEDOM.
Do. Nikki, where can the people find you?
They can find me on Lady Venom 24 on the Twitters. Yep, LADYVENOM 24.
Chat's blowing up right now and they're saying that it could still be Killer Frost, and I would love that.
What could still be Killer Frost?
Somebody, the unexpected person they
Oh,
go
the
to.
team up? Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
For sure.
Yeah.
For shizzles. I don't know why I said that. You can find me at Cleomoto on the socials. You can find all of us at ASOTV Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, and right here on YouTube. Follow us for podcasts from some of your favorite TV shows and video games, where I will never be saying what I just said ever again.
Or shizzles.
Next time. Bye-bye.
For shizzles. My bizzles.
I'm flipping that down.